I've made a PowerPoint about Apex, and I've called it the keys to success. I am a solo queue player, and I'm only Diamond 2, so you can take it with a grain of salt, as I'm technically, obviously, not the best. I'm not like Imperial Hal, I'm not a pro. But I am a normal person, and I understand what normal people go through when they play Apex. I would say the skills in Apex can be split 60-40 between your mechanical skill and your non-mechanical skills. You're unlikely to win games if you have really poor mechanical skills, but you're also unlikely to win if you have really good mechanics but absolutely no planning and terrible non-mechanical skills. You can win, but it's less likely to. It's important that you're good at both. And the other thing is, Apex is a lot about confidence. If you're not very confident, your skill drops and you're not going to do plays that would be really good for you, or you're going to panic and you're going to do plays that are awful and get you killed. Confidence can be helped a lot by communicating with your team, and by communicating you make smarter decisions, you position yourself better, and you win more fights. And obviously it's like a snowball. If you're playing better, your confidence is up and you win more. It's quite simple. I split the skills like this between game mechanics and non-mechanical skills. It's pretty self-explanatory. Gun skill, ability usage, your grenade usage, your movement, and your instincts, all kind of game skill. How you rotate, so your rotation macro, your micro in fights and towards end zones, are obviously also micro rotations. It's how you communicate, how you work as a team, the decisions you make, your awareness, your positioning in a fight, the knowledge of the map that you're on, and your knowledge of where zones pull. Those are what I would consider non-mechanical. There's a brief rundown of what I mean by, core mechanical skills in Apex. You've got your gun skill, it's how accurate you are and how consistent you are when you're shooting. You've got your ability and ult usage, so how you're playing your legend essentially. It's are you wasting your abilities? Are you completely wasting your ult? Are you using your abilities at the correct time? And are you using them correctly, just in general? Grenade usage. Are you using your grenades to initiate fights with sky grenades? Are you using it to prevent a team from, holding an area and keeping space and control? Then I would have movement, which is, how you move. This is more for MK players, but how you move. Are you using your movement skills to get to positions faster and in a way that enemies don't expect? Anyway, next is how you use your instincts. You've got to be fast and make decisions quickly sometimes in Apex, because if you just sit around and wait for things to happen and you're reactionary rather than proactive, normally it doesn't go well. So you've got to have good instincts, and that's not really something you can train. You get better over it. You get better instincts naturally as you play. And then I want to speak again about the confidence cycle. You will play better if you're confident and know what you're doing. If you have no plan, because your teammates aren't speaking to you, or you're not speaking to your teammates, you don't know what's happening to them. You don't know what the plan is to move from where you are. You don't know how you want to approach the fight that you're about to take. A team that doesn't communicate means that you're going to have more mistakes and more bad decisions that are going to be made, and more panic plays and panic decisions will be taken. And you're just not cohesive, so you're going to lose more often than you would normally, even if you have good mechanical skill. If a team that you're fighting is communicating properly, they might beat you. So it's really important that you are communicating as much as that other team. Next, I've got the non-mechanical skills explained. You've got macro, and essentially macro is just how you want to get to a location on the map that you're playing on. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do on the way to getting there? So are you going to hit bins? Are you going to hit beacons? Are you going to evo caches? Or are you just going to run straight as you can into the position because you know the zone is going to end there? Then you have micro rotations, which are smaller and really situational based, and they can happen in an end zone, when you've got to move from the position that you're in to a better position, or take a fight on a team who's in the better position. Or it can just be, micro in a fight, how you want to have some of your players use their skills. Do you want a bang smoke over there? Do you need a door reinforcement? Stuff like this. Next, I'd have communication and teamwork. It's about how you communicate the information to your team. They need to know if there's a 3-man walking up behind them. They need to know if you've hit a 100 banger on a Skynade. They need to know if your ult's ready. They need to know all this stuff. Next, I've put decision making and awareness. Do you understand what's currently happening in the game? Do you know your current position in the game? Do you know the enemies around, where the enemies are around you? Do you know where the zone's ending? Do you know how long's left on the timer? Are you aware of how long you've been fighting the current team you've been fighting? Are you in a dangerous position on the map and making lots of noise? It's all about knowing what's happening around you, because if you don't know what's happening around you, you're likely to get third-partied, or you're likely to miss a third-party opportunity yourself. Team fighting and positioning it. It's about how you place yourself in the correct position in a fight, and this should really be based on your role in the team. So are you being an anchor? Are you being the fragger? Are you being a refrag or support? It's about the guns that you have. Are you using a long range weapon? Do you not have the best secondary weapon? And then it's also about the environment and how your other teammates have positioned yourself. Are you behind hard cover? Are you behind a bang smoke? Are you holding an angle to stop your teammate from getting swung? Or are you holding an angle to prevent the team from running up on you? Are you delaying, or are you pushing, essentially? And then finally, I've got map and zone knowledge. Map knowledge is just how familiar you are with the map. Are you in a congested area? That's really dangerous, got teams running through it a lot. Or are you in a place on the map which has really good terrain for where you want to hold? And then zone knowledge is quite simple. It's do you know where the final zone is going, and can you macro a path to where the final zone ends? Next, I've got how you make your decisions, how to make smart decisions. It's about awareness. It's about knowing the team's location, where you currently are, how far away you are from the ring, how long you need to get to the ring. It's about knowing if there's enemies around you. Are you being pinched? If you take the fight that you think you want to take, are you going to get third-partied? It's how many teams you think are going to be holding you out from the choke. You need to be aware of what's happening. And then instincts, which doesn't really make sense, but trust me, if you're fighting and it devolves into chaos, so everything's gone not to plan, let's say it's a 2v1, you've got to be proactive if you're the last man up. Because if you're just being reactive, eventually you might get double swung, or they will be proactive and you won't expect what they're doing. You've got to be the one to make the difference. You've got to use your instincts and your gut instinct to be very quickly make a decision about what you want to do and enact it. Because you will lose, or you're unlikely to win if you're the one reacting to them. And then adaptability. You should adapt any plan that you have. It should be based on your team positioning, the guns that you have, the ring's location and your location, and the POI you've landed from. If you're landing at a normally zone oriented POI, you should probably play zone, or at least play chokes, so you can hold out edge teams or edge players who have landed on edge POIs. You don't really want to be playing edge from a zone POI, because you're going to struggle to find fights, and you're going to struggle with the loot that you have. It's going to be a hard game. And then, again, zone knowledge. You always want to be making decisions that will help you get into the best location in zone. You don't just want to be taking fights for the sake of taking a fight. You don't really just want to walk into zone and find out there's 8 teams looking at you. You want to have moved in a way where you're fighting for the best position or for a really good position. You don't just want to walk into zone and then go from there. No plan. Winning through positioning, you need to have awareness. You need to know what threats are currently around you and teams that want your position, or teams that might third party you. But you also need to be aware of when you can do the opposite to them. You need to know when you can take a fight onto a team that have just left their building so you can catch them, or a team that has just started a fight and that, just ended a fight even, so you can third party them. And you need to think about when you position yourself into any fight or into the zone of what guns you have. What legends have you got? Have you got a legend that can hold a building well, like Catalyst or Watson? Or are you going to be holding space because your team is really good at holding space? And then you also need about armor levels. If you've got more armor than anyone else, you can be more in the open. It's less of a threat, less of a problem. If you have less armor, you should really be behind cover taking pop shots to go and get your armor up. You have got to use your instincts when it's a chaotic fight or in a chaotic situation. If you can react before anyone else and use your instincts to make a plan and enact the plan, you're ahead of them, and they no longer know what you've done. You've become unpredictable, and you can take charge of the fight or the situation before they can take charge of it. And again, practical tips for success. You've got to use your awareness, like I said before. You've got to make sure you're taking advantage of your legends and the gun types. You've got to take advantage of the map that you're on and the terrain that you have. You've got to react and sometimes follow your instincts in a fight and in some situations. Because if you don't, and then you just waver and hover around without doing anything, eventually someone else will do something, enact their plan onto you, and you will die because you didn't do anything or you waited too long. You've got to go with the plan. You've got to trust it. You've got to trust your instincts sometimes, because if you don't and you're just reacting to what other people are doing, you're never in control. Okay? And finally, again, make sure you're communicating with your team. If you communicate with your team and you can create a plan or convey the idea and the plan and the idea of attack or what you want to hold or how you want to push this team, if you don't communicate, then no one on the team knows what you want to do or what you plan to do. And again, people will just make a mistake out of panic. And then you'll end up with one down. And one down becomes two down. And then finally you're eliminated. So if everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, they can play more confidently. They're not going to make rash decisions that get them killed. So it's very important that you come up with a plan, because everyone plays better then. You're more confident. It sounds like you know what you're doing, at least. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to say for this. And I'll get into a game that I did earlier, and I'll highlight some of these if I can.
Company out there.
Tracking an enemy. Let the ambush begin. Target here. Time to say hi. Libertad.
Broken enemy shield. Lost the mic. Responding.
Fighting six. I'm recharging. Battery place.
Reloading. Right down. Double timing it. Throwing axe down. Enemy shield to recharge. chimney.
Tracking an enemy. Let the ambush begin.
Give my shields a recharge.
Reloading. Recharging my shield.
Nah, I've got no bats.
Shield cell here.
I knocked one of them round there and another team killed him.
Tracker out. A tra poco.
Give my shields a recharge.
Oh, grenade.
Taking fire.
Give my shields a recharge.
Let's explore.
Knocked one.
Recharging my shield. Cover me.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Replicator. Dropping in.
Dogs coming to you.
Reloading. Fighting. That enemy keeps attacking.
Spotted. Double timing.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Smoke out.
Tracker out.
Healing. Watch my back.
I'm recharging my shields.
Let's extend. 1 second.
Heads up.
Let's go
An
that
explosion
way.
in 1.
Phoning clear. Guns up. Hey, got a target here.
45 seconds. Ring ain't close. Smoke out.
Tracker in place.
Reloading. Max level without breaking.
Reloading. Recharging my shields. Cover me.
Head this way. Come on in. Old Painless is waiting. Give my shields a recharge.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Guarda, enemy tracker.
Pop and smoke. Countdown.
Recharging my shield.
Let's go this way. Back tower. Replicator on its way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Finger firing. Ready to ruin someone's day.
Well, stay with me. And keep the healing coming.
Target there. Took out an enemy. Reloading. Opponent there.
Just giving my shields.
Upgrade, ladies.
Looking at this.
Cracked an enemy.
Watch out.
There's a mirage left. That's not the other.
Double timing. Replicator touching down.
Stick with me. On your toes. Got a target over here. Hey, they're shooting at us. Hit an opponent.
Ring ain't far. Half of 1.
Reloading. Recharging my shields. Cover me.
on lifeline. One knock.
Oscar Mike, I'm spotted. Reloading. Whole squad taken out. I like what I see.
Rings nearby. 1 minute, 10 close.
Recharging my shields. Cover me.
Just a zip line up the middle.
Let's explore this way. 45 seconds. Rings close.
Yeah, but it's the only way I'd say.
Ultimate ready and a sec. That is sick. Shield battery here.
Zipline here.
Ultimate almost ready.
Already on my mark. Firing for effect. Incoming!
Zipline here.
10 seconds before.
Up in the chin.
There you go.
Give my shields a recharge.
Open fire.
Taking fire.
Reload.
Hey, no.
Give my shields a recharge. Up in the chimney.
Reloading.
Let's relocate here.
Tracker in place.
Here, take Doc. He'll fix you up.
Watch out. Whoa, I'm getting shot at. The enemy shield is broken. That whole squad is dead. I'm recharging my shields.
Savage over there. Reloading.
Rings next door. 45. Only 2 other squads left.
Killed one in that house. The other upstairs and there's one down.
Tango down.
Enemy down.
Give my shields a recharge.
Contact with target.
Ready to ruin someone?
GG.
Reloading.
First game on.
You are the Apex champions.